Hey guys, this is Anne-Marie from Sheets That Teach. I am a special education teacher and advocate, and I've partnered with Laura from You Are Loved Templates. She is the spreadsheet mastermind that brings all of my special education data sheet dreams to life, and you guys seem to be loving them as well. And our goal, again, is to just make life easier, quicker, more streamlined in the classroom so we can get back to what we do best, working with our students, and make that data reporting as easily as possible. So today we are going to be setting up the prompting and response data sheet, and we actually have added some new features, so I'm very excited to show you guys this. But to start, every product that you get is going to start with the Start Here tab. That's going to give you a link to an example if it's not already embedded in one of your tabs down here, so you can see that magical workflow. But it also is going to give you those visual and written instructions. So if you don't want to listen to my voice right now, feel free to stop the video and just go ahead and read, set it up yourself. But I would highly recommend looking at the example workflow. It'll really just help you see the magic this sheet is supposed to put out for you and how it's going to work for you and your students. So there is actually one I did just want to show you. There is one that is hidden here. So if you did just want to not hop to another tab, you could pull that out of your hidden sheets. Again, if you ever want to pull out a hidden sheet, you would click these three lines, and then you can see which ones are hidden. They're going to be in that lighter gray text, and then which ones are out. So now in this example, you can see we're really tracking prompts and the kind of prompts, and these are all editable, but I've followed the prompting scale that, again, my school uses, and again, it's a pretty universal scale, but I went ahead and copied that over. And so this is going to be tracking the level of prompt you had to give your student as well as the modality of response. I really wanted to create this because I haven't found a data sheet that easily allows you to track the level of prompts and their modality of response, especially in an easy to see fashion. So, and again, obviously you're also going to be tracking the response and if there was any behaviors during the tasks. So what we recently added to over here to the right, you can now per tab see when there's 10 probes per tab over here. You can see how many correct responses they had, how many incorrect, or how many were no responses. It's going to tally up those totals for you. You can see the modality of their response. So this student's most favored response form was actually writing and gestures. They're using that more than their voice or their AAC device, which is something interesting to see and report out, whether it's time for IEP meetings or end of working period progress reporting. And then here you can also see how much they're relying on prompts, or again, if they're increasing their independence. 4 out of 10 of these probes, for when given a choice of, again, 3 letter flashcards and asked which letter makes blah 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 sound, they were able to identify the correct letter in 4 out of 10 trials. And then they may have needed a gesture cue to their alphabet strip, or again, maybe you were really showing a picture verbally with some of those gestures. So again, it's just a really nice way to see how much are you supporting them and how independent are they becoming versus how are they responding. One thing I really want to reiterate too, that all of you are only tracking 2 kinds of prompts, or again, if they only have the ability to, maybe they're not writing yet, you can go ahead and take writing off of this list. All the templates are fully editable, so let's go ahead and show you guys how to set it up. So what I would do is I would personally keep one of these blank always. That way you have something to start from scratch, but if you don't have a blank one, you can always go back to your download link and click make a copy again to get that fresh copy. But just to show you guys, let's go ahead and we are going to say make a copy. And I'm just going to say this is my 25 to 26 school year prompting and response template. And so this way, I'm going to, once I have this, we're going to call this our master template for the school year. I can then make, again, I could go ahead on this one and change any of the behaviors, whatever it is. Like if I wanted to say maybe this child was spitting more than anything, I can go ahead and update those. Now, again, you can have your master template for the whole school year, or again, you could even just say this is going to be Sally Jones MP1 data, whatever. Again, this could be your school year template or a template for one specific student. If it is one specific student on the template, you can go ahead, say that Sally really isn't writing at all yet, or maybe she doesn't have a device yet. You can go ahead and delete these. Again, there's nothing, this is whatever matches you and your students' needs. And then let's go ahead and set up some of the drop-down menus now where we worked. So again, I gave some generic answers of view table, desk, carpet, or maybe it was their hallway, maybe it was the resource room. If you need to edit whatever this drop-down menu is, you can go ahead and add another item. Let's just go ahead and add resource room. Done. And now we can see that, boom, if we needed to, we could select resource room. You could even color code these if you'd like. And then who you worked with. Was it one of the teachers, an RBT, or a para? And same thing, you can go over and press that little pencil to edit what some of these options are, or color code them and give them a different color. When you click the date up here, you can click whatever day it is that you're tracking data. And then another thing, there's one more drop-down menu. So modality of activity. That's, again, I found this really helpful for me when I didn't know what my student was going to take to yet. So I literally almost always had like a text box version available of the lesson, of worksheet, and then we also had the worksheet on the iPad and the Apple Pencil. So I really needed to learn what format of work he took best to. I found myself not using this column once I found that putting PDFs of my worksheets on Notability on my iPad and using an Apple Pencil was the most conducive for him. I really stopped using this, and I went and I hid the column. So again, that's another thing. Maybe you're not tracking modality of response. Like, this student is always going to give you a verbal answer practically, and you're more so just tracking prompts. Again, guys, you can feel free to hide whatever you want. So again, just right click shift. I'm going to hide those, but I'm going to undo that because I do want to show you guys how to work this for sake of this video. All right, and then another thing that you can track is obviously the reinforcement. Again, I used to really say, like, if it was a token they were getting, or an edible reinforcer, whatever it was, or maybe they got like a 2-second stim break with their toy, whatever it was, you could mark that here, or again, just take some notes. Once I really found out what was working for my students, I didn't need to use this, and I ended up hiding my reinforcement column as well. I'm just gonna go ahead and unhide everything for the sake of this video. Now, the biggest thing I want to show you guys after that is, notice how I grouped this tab by letter sound, or I really recommend that you group each tab that you're going to make by skill. I think that's going to be a lot easier to interpret your summary totals over here on the right side. So let's just say it's time to take some data with our girl Sally, and we're always going to leave a template blank. That way we always have something to go back to whenever we're assessing something new. So we're going to say duplicate, and then again, I want to group by skill. So I'm going to say this is going to be 1-to-1 correspondence. Maybe she's also doing a, let's say, duplicate. Let's say she's also working on CVC medial sound ID. So she has to, really tell what vowel's in the middle of that CVC word. But again, let's just say, all right, we're going to say it's August 4th. We're still in ESY. So again, knowing that this is for some of my really high needs students, I might really describe the format of it. So I might say like counting bears task cards, group of objects, choice of 3 numerals. So again, in that first box, I might actually in depth describe how that assignment was given, or how, again, the task or direction was given to the child. And then under it, oh, and also guys, just life hack too. So how to press enter or go down another line in the sheet, you press Control or Command, then enter, depending on if you're on a Mac or Windows, but you're just going to press Control and enter, and that will allow you to bop to the next line. So I'm just going to say that, that first task card was 8 bears, but after I know, again, how I'm giving these 10 probes, on the next ones, I'm just going to write however many she were on the flashcard or that she was supposed to identify. Again, we did already just note that this was a task card thing. So if she was able to count all 8 objects, no prompts, she got it right and was able to tell me verbally, oh yeah, there were 8 bears there. And then she also was able to gesture to the right number, or maybe again, she was able to point, or she was able to circle it with a whiteboard marker. But you can very easily see, okay, 8, she was able to do it. This would all just be task cards. So again, you might end up hiding this column. But it's there if you need it. Again, if you're really just getting to know your student and might benefit from it. Let's just say this time she really needed a gesture prompt to recount them, or, to look at her number line. We could say she needed a gesture prompt, but she still got it right. And she was able to tell you this verbally, and in writing, she was able to circle the number. Let's just say by the third one, she was really not having it. You really had to model how she was doing, model how to count and match things up. She didn't respond. And again, I don't even have to say, I could say NA here if I wanted to, or leave it blank. It's whatever is going to help your brain the most. But I could see she was starting to tap out because she started to climb on furniture. So maybe this is going to tell you something about their attention span, or if the task is triggering. But overall, some of the biggest things I would say is, overall, you are going to try to leave one of these fully blank, so you always have something fully blank to come back to. And then again, once you have made a copy for one of your students, really making sure to always leave that template blank. Well, make any edits you want onto that first set of options, and it's going to automatically populate to all other 10 probes that are in a tab. So that way, whenever you need to track a new skill, all you're doing is going to duplicate, and then you are going to rename this by the subject that it's tracking. That way these summary totals over on the side give you the best interpretation of how they're doing with that skill. Other than that, guys, I think that this one is pretty self-explanatory, and I really hope that this helps you with your high support needs students. And happy data tracking. Thanks for all you do.